Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shivam Datta, founder and CEO of AlmaBetter. I welcome you all to today's Ask Me Anything session. So, as you all know, this is an integral part of our Learn Earn Return program that we offer at AlmaBetter. Every weekend, we organize the AMA session where we invite a distinguished member from the data science community to connect with our students. These particular sessions are intended to broaden the understanding of the data science industry as a whole. And yeah, so with that being said, let's welcome our guest for today, Mr. Abhinav Litkar. So yeah, so Abhinav is currently working as a staff data scientist at Swiggy. Recently, and his team were awarded with the prestigious Aegis Graham Bell Award for innovation in transport tech category. So Abhinav is also an IIT Delhi graduate. Over the last 8 years, he has acquired a rich hands-on experience by working as a data scientist across multiple industries. So, with a strong expertise in applied data sciences and advanced analytics, Avinav is here today to share his understanding of the data science world with you all. So, Avinav, thank you so much for taking out time for this session. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Sure, Shubham. First of all, I am audible, right? It's fine.
Yes, yes, you're audible. Yes.
Shubham,
So, yeah.
Shivam, sorry. Before we begin, before you say anything,
Mhm.
I'd like to congratulate you and say thank you for what you're doing. As a young professional, it's very difficult for freshers to understand, what it takes to get into data science. Given that you're providing a structured platform to them, coupled with whatever free program is there, it's truly great.
Right.
I appreciate that. Kudos.
Thank you so much, Avinav. So, as we start with the AMA, would you like to add anything about your professional background, Avinav?
Sure. I also started as a young professional back in 2013, where data science was also just emerging. It wasn't
Mhm.
really what it is today. It
Mhm.
has changed tremendously, but it was still like it's something for freshers. It is something different. It was something different for me as well back then. So the same way I started via Coursera, John Hopkins courses, and UNG's courses, and then started applying off campus, and that's how I started. I worked for a brief amount of time in a startup for 6 months, and then joined Transorg which is a boutique consulting firm. And there, because
Mhm.
it being a consulting firm which is also getting into data science and ML, I got a flavor of a lot of business problems, telecom, churn, uh, internet, text, everything. Then I joined a telco company to enhance my big data skills, and then I've been with Swiggy for the past 3 years. And Swiggy has been a really transformational journey, wherein from ML, from offline ML to how to make business impact, how to make your models are in production, the ML inference, and all those things. This is something I acquired. The journey has been great, and I'm still learning new things. Keep coming up in data science field, and I keep learning more.
That's great to know, Avinav. Actually, the kind of zeal I see in you to still learn a whole lot of new things and deliver value to the organizations that you work with is really commendable. So, I would request you to talk a little bit about the award that you got. So, like, what
Okay.
was the award for, and what kind of innovation, the award talks about?
Okay, so the award was for innovation in transport tech. So
Mhm.
transport tech, the award which our team got was for the assignment system. The
Okay.
assignment system which we have developed. And without
Mhm.
going into a lot of details, I'll give you a very small description, and it'll help you understand
Sure.
what it is.
Okay.
So whenever an order comes to Swiggy, you can
Mhm.
assign it to any random delivery boy available, and then he
Mhm.
will pick up the order from the restaurant, deliver it to the customer. Now, it's not
Right.
optimal for delivery boy as well, because if we
Mhm.
assign him at the wrong time, which is too
Mhm.
early, he has to wait for a very long time at the
Mhm.
restaurant, which he doesn't like. Obviously, we pay the wait time component to him, but that's not
Mhm.
optimal for him because they want to do more orders rather than waiting at the restaurant. That's also
Correct.
bad for us
Yes.
because we have to wait for wastage, the wait time component, which is just wastage. So the
Mhm.
assignment system, it is nothing but an optimization system wherein basis what we have promised to the customer, and
Mhm.
basis how much time the restaurant is going to take to prepare the food, we'll assign the delivery boy from the network in a fashion that it optimizes things for everyone, for the
Mhm.
customer as well, so as there are no delays in the promised time, for delivery boy as well. So as his earnings, his experience, his restaurant experience is maximized, and for Swiggy as well, where the total cost of the order is optimized.
Right.
There, different data science teams are involved. There is a team which does optimization, and my team was responsible for all the inputs to the assignment, because in assignment you need inputs on how much time the restaurant is going to take to prepare the food, and basis that what to promise to the customer, how much time the delivery
Right.
boy is going to take to travel from his location to restaurant, from restaurant to customer. All these inputs go into the both to the promise to the customer as well as the assignment system. So it's a complicated structure where different teams are involved: product managers, engineers, different data science teams. So that was that. Intelligent design.
Got it. Okay. Okay. That's great to know, and truly innovative work. I would say, right? Optimizing a whole lot of process for different stakeholders, for customers, for Swiggy, for delivery partners, right? So, Abhinav, could you talk a little bit about your role as a staff data scientist at Swiggy, and what are the responsibilities of someone at this position?
Okay, I'll not generalize it. It can vary from
Mm-hmm.
one state staff data scientist in the same organization to another staff data scientist in different organizations. Even in
Mm-hmm.
Swiggy, what I do and what my peers do as staff data scientists may vary. But I'll talk
Mm-hmm.
about my role.
Okay. Sure.
So my role is like any mid-senior role, wherein you
Mm-hmm.
are responsible for a number of things, starting with people management, and by people management I mean both career as well as work execution charter for
Mm-hmm.
junior fellows,
Okay.
discussion of new projects, new ideas with product managers, with engineers, uh,
Mm-hmm.
laying out the execution charter for a quarter, or let's say for a year. I mean, what a particular person will do. So for example, if there's an XYZ
Mm-hmm.
data science project,
Mm-hmm.
you have to match that project with team members' career aspirations as well as his skill set and where his gap is. So
Correct.
something like that. And then
Yes.
there is some day-to-day project management, work management. There is some hands-on work as well, which is being going on since the day I joined with Sugi. So it's a mix and
Mm-hmm.
match of management, hands-on work, project landscape, and so many things.
Got it. Okay. So it's more around a mid-senior level role wherein you are dealing
Yes,
with
yes,
more of
yes.
managerial aspects rather than
It's mixed. It's not
hands-on.
more managerial. It's not more
Mm-hmm.
managerial. As of now,
Mm-hmm.
it's I will say 50-50, and that is what I.
Okay. Okay.
It's
Got
both
it. Got
hands-on
it.
and it's both
Mm-hmm.
managerial.
Okay. Great. So, kind of helps keep in touch with coding as right. Yeah. So over the past few years, Swiggy leveraged data science to increase its delivery efficiency. It has also used data science to connect customers to the right restaurants, and this, along with many other use cases of data science, has unlocked huge potential for the company. Right. So, could you talk about some of the data science projects you undertook that led to efficient business outcomes? And in what ways did the project increase the business efficiency or maybe improved customer experience?
Okay. So since the beginning of time with Swiggy, I am leading the time predictions charter here, and time
Mhm.
predictions just simply means predicting time. And
Got
it
it.
is a very basic and fundamental input for a lot of things that happen here.
Mhm.
First is basis whatever information you have, what promise to make at the listing page, which you see when you open the app.
Mhm.
Then when you check out, what promise to make. And then in
Got
the
it.
tracking screen, you see there is a countdown down timer, a time that decreases. That is also something which my
Mhm.
team has developed. So that has helped our perception of speed, our reliability with the customers. Because
Got it.
if you use moving averages,
Mhm.
which was 2016, and
Mhm.
they'll be inaccurate and they'll not be the right promise which you'll make to the customer. So that is
Right.
how these accurate models and accurate promises has helped increase both the perception and reliability of the customers on Swiggy. And then
Got
there
it.
are some components, as I said, preparation time at the restaurant, travel time of the delivery boy.
Mhm.
They are used
Mhm.
internally in the assignment systems
Got it.
to assign the right delivery boy to the right
Mhm.
restaurant, and then batch
Mhm.
orders together. When you can't
Right.
batch any order together, this helps with in the savings of cost per order,
Right.
like that.
Got it.
And
Okay.
recently, I've undertaken a service recovery charter here, which will again
Mhm.
be about. So it's the models are still being developed, but it'll
Got
again
it.
be about there are certain orders on which you cannot do anything. I mean, if that order is
Mhm.
going out of stock, or if the
Right.
restaurant is too much loaded with offline load, then no matter what promise you make to the customer, you simply cannot uh, deal with the delay of the order. But then you can do some recovery by proactive customer comms to the customer. So if we can proactively predict some delay and proactively inform the customer that something is going to happen, then that will not be as bad as customer contacting us after some
Correct.
design.
Yes.
So that will
Yes.
also help in improving the reliability of the customer.
Right. Right. And in such businesses, I guess, a lot of investment goes into, at least having a good loyal customer base, right? Which trusts your brand, right? And that's where a whole lot of models, predictive models, which make accurate promise to the customers,
Perception and reliability
kind
is
of
a
becomes
very
very important. Yes.
big.
Right. 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 So lately, a whole lot of AI/ML predictive models have come up to forecast inventory and manage resources in an efficient manner, right? So companies are now utilizing predictive analytics techniques in order to maximize their utility, right? So you have a good experience, in building and working with predictive models, right? So could you talk about the approach you take while working on such projects, and to what extent do you think such models prove to be beneficial for the company?
Predictive model is not just limited to inventory. Even
Mhm.
what time I'm predicting, it's a predictive model.
Correct.
And
Yes.
the past 8 years, all the models I have developed, they have all been predictive. So I have a
Mhm.
very strong experience in this field. My
Mhm.
approach, it varies from data to data, but the
Mhm.
general approach will always remain the same. You
Mhm.
see your data, you get a feel of your
Mhm.
data. Do
Mhm.
as much dissection, cuts and pieces as possible. Understand each and every
Mhm.
input that's coming. For example, if
Mhm.
you are trying to predict credit card fraud, then there
Mhm.
are some L1 details which you will look into. But if you have to improve your accuracy of your model from, let's say, 87% to 90%, that small 3% gap is only going to come if you've done a very strong AT and if you know 360, have a 360-degree view of your data. I mean, even in small pieces, small buckets, what's happening. So that's
Mhm.
is my approach. I always start with a very thorough EDA, very thorough analysis. And then after that, that gives direction to what inputs you're going to use with the model. So let's say we are talking
Mhm.
about structured data. We're not talking about images and text where input is already there and it's all about algorithms. It's structured data, because I've mostly
Mhm.
worked on structured data where you have to hand engineer inputs. It's
Mhm.
not available in the data. For example, if you have to again do some credit card fraud, then you'll hand engineer input saying how much time did you take from OTP initiation to OTP entrance. That's an
Right.
indicator of
Yes.
fraud. So that you
Mhm.
have to hand engineer, and that
Mhm.
gives way for hand engineering of inputs, and that gives way to models. Now,
Mhm.
selection of models is dependent upon what inferencing mechanism is required. If it's
Mhm.
offline, then you can go whatever you can do whatever you want. You can have
Right.
XGPUs going into a deep neural network and then going into another algorithm. You can stack them. But if it's online, if
Mhm.
inferencing has to be done, it has to be an API and has to meet
Correct.
with the whatever infrastructure your company has.
Right.
It depends upon. So
Mhm.
earlier it was mostly offline, so I was using
Mhm.
any algorithm I might like. But in Swiggy, it has
Right.
been because you have to go online. There are latency and engineering
Mhm.
aspects, so
Right.
it's limited to either Spark algorithms or TensorFlow
Mhm.
algorithms. So we either select
Got it.
random forest
Got
gradient
it.
in Spark or any MLP architecture.
Right. Right.
Post that it's MLOps. If we want to talk about MLOps, we can talk, but that's another part of that. That's independent of what model you're developing. It's about ML lifecycle once it goes live.
Right. Right. And I guess, there is a particular trade-off in the kind of algorithms that you can use for your project versus the latency requirements if it is a real-time,
Yes,
project, right?
definitely.
Real-time prediction, wherein you have to, the time is of utmost importance, right?
Yes, yes,
There, in offline projects, of course, you can do a whole lot of research work, stack, ensemble, and play around with algorithms. But when it comes to, real-time implementation of these models, you'll have to figure out ways to, deliver sufficiently good results very quickly, right? So yeah, so I'll like to take a, so you talked about a whole lot of projects, Avina. Like to take a short question from Sumanta. So you have worked on various projects, but which one was your favorite one, and any major challenges that you faced in?
Uh, I'll have to choose two favorites because
Mm-hmm.
these two favorites belong to two different categories.
Uh-huh.
First favorite, purely from algorithm and ML enjoyment point of view,
Okay.
was a text classification I did in my early days with Transorg and Analytics for Quicker. It was a
Okay.
classification on whether the ad belongs to a car or not, one, and whether
Okay.
ad belongs to a
Okay.
house or not, like that.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Was my
Got it.
first text project and a first
Mm-hmm.
project where I did a lot of text manipulation. Not exactly
Mm-hmm.
NLP, it was done using text processing
Mm-hmm.
and SVM on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of ML, in terms of that process, I've enjoyed this really well. And then the
Mm-hmm.
second project in another different category, wherein the category is a model which has gone through each and every life cycle of ML, from development to deployment to inferencing to retraining to alerting
Mm-hmm.
to breaking in the online world, and then acting upon that. Everything that is time predictions there. So
Right.
that's the PSLA model, the promise to the customer model, which we, because it has different
Mm-hmm.
strategies.
Okay.
It's not exactly that. Promising to a customer is not exactly about accuracy. It's also about meeting
Yes.
that promise. So there are different components and different strategies. So
Mm-hmm.
these two are met.
Got it. Great to know such interesting projects, Abhinav. So I think we have one more question over LinkedIn. So I don't know how relevant it is, but you would probably be in a better position to answer this. So how does data science play a role in coming up with solutions that ensure a safe food delivery service during COVID times? Is there some amount of
It is
data science being
relevant.
used, or all it is
It
relevant?
is relevant. It is relevant. There are
Okay.
two. There are. I'll tell you first of all how
Uh-huh.
delivery is being happening in Swiggy, and then you'll be able to relate. So in
Okay.
terms of the customer, there is
Mm-hmm.
no such issue involved because you are either dropping the food at the door or dropping the food
Uh-huh.
at their gate. There's
Uh-huh.
nothing required there. But crowding can
Got it.
happen at restaurant.
Okay.
We have
Okay.
algorithms which can predict crowding at a restaurant because it's assignment. It's us. We are assigning the delivery boy to a
Mm-hmm.
restaurant. So we are doing that
Mm-hmm.
in an intelligent fashion so as to not
Mm-hmm.
so as to avoid crowding at a high peak restaurant. For example, Truffles in Bangalore or
Mm-hmm.
is a restaurant from where a lot of orders come and crowding can happen very easily.
Mm-hmm.
So that is being tackled via the assignment algorithm. You don't assign or you assign
Okay.
properly or in sequence so that the crowding doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
The other is whether delivery boy is wearing the mask or not. That's a typical image.
Okay.
So this is how
Mm-hmm.
ML is helping
Mm-hmm.
in COVID times. Because these are
Okay.
the
That's
two
the
major issues you can have in the delivery ecosystem.
right. Right. That's great to know, Abhinav, right? So, in these times, precaution is the most important thing that you can, take care of and prevent from all of the chaos that is happening right now as we speak, right? So, okay, so I'll take a few questions, but before that, I just want to, highlight on a few more things, right? So you have been in the industry for 8 years now, right? And have worked on various projects. So you have seen how the inclusion of data science in daily operations of firms change their ways of forming business decisions, right? So with data science, the impossible, became possible. Now, I just want to talk about the future, right? So what are some of the exciting projects that you wish to work in the near future? And what do you think the future of the industry holds in general?
Yeah, the first question I can answer, but the second question can only be my opinion and my prediction.
Haha. Yeah, sure.
I'll answer the second question first. So every
Mm-hmm.
3 4 years we see a change in trend. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Early 2011 to 15, it was about offline ML, SVMs. R was very predominant, and then came
Mm-hmm.
Spark, Hive, Hadoop, Big Data. Now
Mm-hmm.
it was all about TensorFlow and deep learning.
Mm-hmm.
But that is also
Mm-hmm.
slowly going away because now everybody is so once everybody is good enough with certain skill set, the trend shifts.
Mm-hmm.
Now the
Mm-hmm.
focus is on MLOps. So this will continue for the next. I believe this will continue for the next 3 4 years. And MLOps is
Okay.
nothing but because more and more models are going live and more models are being used for
Mm-hmm.
inference. It
Correct.
becomes like engineering DevOps. They have to be maintained.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a model in
Right.
production will not stay healthy for 10 years. It might
Right.
stay healthy for, let's say, more than 3 months. So MLOps is
Mm-hmm.
becoming important. MLOps is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then data-centric AI. Andrew Ng is also talking about that. where the focus will
Mm-hmm.
shift from algorithms to making sure the data is right, making sure the data is enough. There was enough
Mm-hmm.
focus on this aspect, but
Mm-hmm.
even if you talk to data scientists now and the young data scientists now, because what they know, what they tell you is what they know basis their interactions and their learnings from the industry. It's about algorithm.
Right.
I'll use LSTMs, I'll use
Mm-hmm.
CNNs, or I'll use XGBoost. We never talk about the quality of the data or the amount of data we want or the different data sources we want. I think we'll start talking about
Mm-hmm.
that as well in here, because I see these two.
Right.
And the
Okay.
first question was what problem I'd like to work on. Yeah, I always,
Yeah.
it's my dream to work on any recommendation system of any kind, any
Mm-hmm.
real-time recommendation
Okay.
where
Okay.
I can combine various architectures of algorithms together. It can be in
Mm-hmm.
any sector. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
can be a recommendation of videos on Coursera
Mm-hmm.
or YouTube, food recommendation, anything. That's what I want to work on. Other than that, I'm also interested in NLP, although I have zero experience in
Okay.
NLP going on.
Mm-hmm.
No chance, I didn't
Okay.
chance to work on that, so I don't know what's going on. I'll have to read
Mm-hmm.
about it, but these are the two areas where, I mean,
Oh,
in
okay.
both of these areas, I can use LSTMs, and LSTMs are one of my favorite algorithms.
Right. Right. Yep. Yeah. Great to know, Abhinav. Right. So I guess one suggestion is coming. Right. So not a question.
Okay.
So can Swiggy come up with a feature wherein customers can choose items from multiple restaurants in the same area under the same order? This will does help Swiggy where a single delivery boy can pick up multiple orders and deliver, and users can save on delivery charges. Any
Yeah.
take on this?
It's see, I understand the user's gain there. Delivery
Mm-hmm.
boy's gain is not there. We already batch orders. I mean, if you
Correct.
order from one
Yeah.
restaurant and other customer order from the other restaurant, you live in close proximity and your
Mm-hmm.
promises are right. We will batch those
Mm-hmm.
orders and deliver them together. But I
Got
see
that.
your point and I agree. When I
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when I order, I have to order one
Mm-hmm.
item from one restaurant.
Right.
It's a good
Right.
suggestion, but I'm
Yes.
not the right person who can give you a surety on whether it will be done or not. I can pass it on.
Right.
Let's see
Right.
what happens on that. I will
Yeah.
for sure pass it on.
Sure. Thanks, Abhinav. So, just want to shift our discussion to more of uh, things which can help aspirants enter into this field, right? So as we all know, that a whole lot of real world projects require people with different backgrounds, like data scientists, data analysts, developers, product managers, right, to work together in order to complete projects end to end. So
Yep.
thus, team collaboration is of greatest importance. So you have been a lead data scientist before. You have had the experience of leading a team. So according to you, Abhinav, to what extent are team collaboration skills important, and how does working in a team help each other to grow professionally?
It's very important. It's not just with data science. It's with
Mm-hmm.
any field you work. Yeah, the work is never isolated. Until
Right.
unless you are a
Mm-hmm.
writer and you'll take 5 years to write a book, neither no
Mm-hmm.
other work in this industry,
Mm-hmm.
in our tech industry, is isolation. So collaboration is
Mm-hmm.
very, very important. And
Right.
I have seen people struggling, junior folks and even senior folks struggling. Even
Mm-hmm.
they are very good data scientists, but their comm skills are not really great, and hence they are unable to communicate their ideas to, let's
Right.
say, engineers and PMs, and then their friction
Mm-hmm.
happens, even though nobody is in the wrong place. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously, communication and collaboration is important. And ML is not a data scientist's responsibility. ML is the entire org's responsibility, because
Right.
it's the
Yes.
engineer who's going to call the model. It's the PM
Mm-hmm.
who's going to facilitate the use case of the model
Mm-hmm.
for developing the model. But there are multiple people involved in the ecosystem, and hence collaboration, communication there is very important.
Right. Right.
It's given.
Yep.
It's one of the fundamental requirements. And any org, you will get feedback in your appraisals if your comm skills are not good.
Right, right, right. Yes, totally agree on this front, right? So at AlmaBetter, we organize one-on-one mentorship sessions every week for our students. In these sessions, students interact with industry professionals who share their practical knowledge with their students and then guide them, right? So you have been a mentor at AlmaBetter for quite some time now. So could you talk a little bit about your experience as a mentor at AlmaBetter? And what are some of the advice that you can give, that you generally give to the students to take maximum advantage of such initiatives?
I really appreciate that you are conducting these sessions. It will really help
Mm-hmm.
the aspirants get the most out of the 6-9 months they are spending with you. On
Mm-hmm.
that front, I believe that students have to be more proactive, because
Mm-hmm.
given that uh, I cannot go on about all my 8 years journey, right? It's too much.
Right, right.
And if I do that, it'll take a lot of time. And there are a set of
Mm-hmm.
questions also that we have to ask. So students can
Correct.
just go through our LinkedIn profiles or study about us,
Uh-huh.
pinpoint some
Yes,
questions. Some questions can be
yes.
around what we have done. And there can be
Mm-hmm.
some very generic questions, doubts which they
Correct.
have. And on their
Mm-hmm.
doubt, they should ask these doubts to each and every mentor they meet and collect data points, because every person will have different opinions.
Right. Correct.
So
Yes,
utilize that.
yes.
I've seen some folks have utilized that. Some folks do not.
Mm-hmm.
So, we ask
Okay.
questions. I ask
Mm-hmm.
them, ask more questions, any doubt, and they don't. Maybe they don't
Mm-hmm.
have a question, but
Okay.
they
Uh-huh.
should, because they should be.
Right.
So
Right.
it's for them. They should make the most out of it.
Right, right. So for our students, definitely this is a very good point made, right? So you should always have some research done about the person that you are meeting. And this is not just about this mentor session. It's true about any interview that you are, going to
Definitely.
attend, a real interview, or any person you are going to meet. So you should have some background of what the person has done, so that you can have a conversation. It's not just asking questions and learning a few things. You can also share your experience as to what you think. You should try to develop a conversation, and that will
Exactly.
help you in the long run, right?
You can
And
share.
you learn how to make effective.
Yeah, I can share
Right,
another thread which they can discuss. I'm pretty sure
right,
that the data science is a vast field, and you will be good in
right,
ML, but you'll not be good at statistics. We
right.
discuss these aspects, where you are weak and where you are strong, and how will this will
Correct.
transform your career, because there are
Right.
different roles which involve different skill set. I mean, in
Yes.
Swiggy as well, there are data scientists who work on casual
Mm-hmm.
models that involve a lot of
Mm-hmm.
statistics there. I'm not good at such,
Mm-hmm.
so I work on
Right.
statistics. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
that. So you'll not feel demotivated there. So anything that
Correct. Correct.
any I met one mentee
Mm-hmm.
last week. He asked some
Mm-hmm.
really good questions on whether to write blogs or not, and how to write blogs. I
Uh-huh.
really appreciated that.
Uh-huh.
Any question you have, just throw it away.
Right. Right.
Folks who have been in the industry
Totally.
for 5-6 years will know one or the
Yes.
other thing about that.
Right, definitely. And since you are starting a career in this, you cannot run out of questions at this point of time, right? So you should always keep the conversation alive, even if it is just a mock interview or anything, right? So after the end of the session, always try to have a conversation. Okay, so as we are approaching the end of the session, so I just want to talk about the, wanted to talk about the benefits of networking in the industry, right? So, in your opinion, in what ways does a good network help people in building their space in the industry?
See, it's just like the collaboration thing I mentioned. The collaboration is
Mm-hmm.
with the organization, but networking is nothing but it's a kind of
Outside.
collaboration
Yep.
where you meet people
Yes.
and you share your work with them. So networking of
Mm-hmm.
any kind will help. Just don't overshoot it. Just don't go about connecting with every individual, because that
Right.
is not bad. So anything
Mm-hmm.
more of anything is bad, less of anything is bad. So keep it healthy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Connect with people with whom you have some sort of connection, as in
Mm-hmm.
either you've met with them someplace, or you work with them in some place, or interacted with them, or there is a thread going
Mm-hmm.
on, shared comments.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Grow your network in a
Yep.
healthy fashion, and it'll help you out. For
Right.
example, if you've done
Right.
something great and I came to know about it in some
Mm-hmm.
organization, I might
Yes.
prefer working with you in some time in future.
Correct.
That's how
Correct.
network
Correct.
helps. But keep it healthy. That's
Yes.
my advice.
Yes, yes, definitely. And in this early stage, it's kind of helps you in getting a break out of nowhere, right? So you get a message saying that okay, we have an opening here and there. So if you connect with the right persons, whom you can share something valuable. So always, I try to advise our students to post something meaningful on LinkedIn, right? Some bits and pieces that you learn every day, you're learning a whole lot of things every day. If you post something which is really helpful for your network, uh, they will know that you are someone who posts useful content, right? And that might give you a chance to get into a job role maybe, right? So in uh, in these initial days, it kind of helps, right, to develop a good network and be active on professional social media platforms. So, okay. So, lastly, we have reached the end of the session. So, I just want to know if you want to give any advice to the attendees of this particular session.
Yeah, I've been talking about the MLOps. I mean, every data scientist I meet,
Yes. Mhm.
I urge them to study
Mhm.
or read about MLOps. So this is my advice. What
Mhm.
happens with the model once it goes live is,
Right.
is twice the work as compared to developing the model.
Yes.
Because you have
Yes.
to evaluate it, you have to write reports and alerts on top of it, then make sure it's working.
Mhm. Mhm.
There are so many things. So just get an idea of that as well. Other than
Yep.
that, every student who is part of your program is going through a structured training, and I've seen that training, and
Mhm.
it's
Okay.
enough
And
for fresher
yep.
role candidates.
Yes, and totally taken, right? So, and that's the reason why we incorporated MLE into the curriculum itself, right? So that students can have an end-to-end knowledge of how to develop, how to think about a problem statement, develop a model, and then push it into production and see that end-to-end cycle, right? Whole lot of nuances, as you said, are going on in the productionization of models, and this era for this 3-4 years, as you say, we'll see a whole lot of emphasis on productionizing a whole lot of models, right? Because we have developed a whole lot of models in the recent past. Now it's time to use this those for our uh, business use
Business
cases,
value only comes
right?
when it's live. It's
Right,
it's
right.
useful.
Yes, yes. So with this, we have now reached the end of the session. Abhinav, I'd like to thank you for joining us for this session today. I think your answers were extremely beneficial and enlightening for our attendees. Hopefully, the students listening to this session got to learn a lot and have gained a pulse of the industry before they enter it. Right. So, if you have any further questions about the data science industry, you can connect with Abhinav on LinkedIn, and I hope that is okay with you, Abhinav. So,
Just drop a message. Just drop a meaningful
yep,
message, and I'll know
yes,
that you are connecting with a purpose.
right, right, right.
Because there's a
Yes,
limit to LinkedIn connections. You understand?
correct, correct, correct. Yes, yes. And Abhinav, it was lovely to have you here today.
Same
Thank
here.
you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All our attendees and